This episode was a request by Amities Luzora 20. Link to their channel will be in the description. So if you watched my review on Squeak, Rattle, and Roll, I don't think I'd be offending a lot of people when I say I'm not a huge fan of the hit era. Season 10 in particular is a true stinker. It's home to terrible episodes like Thomas's Frosty Friend, Sticky Toffee Thomas, Thomas's Tricky Tree, Top Thomas. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Follow That Flower, Fearless Freddy, Which Way Now, and everyone's favorite episode, Edward Strikes Out. Excluding Season 12, because I'm better off in life pretending that season doesn't exist, this season is bar none my least favorite of the mediocrity. However, it wasn't all bad. There were definitely some diamonds in the rough such as Big Strong Henry, Thomas and the Birthday Mail, It's Good to Be Gordon, Duncan's Bluff, and the episode I'm going to be talking about today,
James the Second Best.
An episode starring Edward and James.
Okay, I'm gonna let you guys a little in on something. These two, right here, these are my favorite characters of the entire series. Oh yeah, and those guys right there, but I'll talk about them in the future. The last James and Edward centric story, Keeping Up with James, was a nice James gets karma kind of story, but there was nothing really to it that stood out aside from it being an episode in the snow. Except here, there's actually a lot I can talk about. So fasten your seatbelts as we dive into why Edward and James are such fan favorites. So the episode is about a photographer coming to the island to take a picture of an engine that will be on posters all around Sodor. James, being James, is desired with such a high honor, but Sir Topham Hatt chooses Edward to be the poster engine. This devastates the vain engine so much that he attempts to photobomb Edward's picture, but Topham is having none of it and orders James to leave at once. A very sad engine. When James vents his pain to the others, Thomas, Percy, and Henry tell him the reasons why Edward deserves to be on a poster more than anyone else. This offends James, and so first thing tomorrow he decides he's going to prove everyone that he can be just as good as him. Now in a normal case scenario, James would be doing this because he sees Edward as nothing but a pathetic loser. But he's doing it because he looks up to him. Obviously though, he is too vain to admit it. TheUnluckyTug briefly mentioned this episode in his Complete History of James video. In that video, he states the reason James is doing what he's doing is because he feels emasculated by Edward, and I can't help but agree with him on that. I think that makes James far more likable than him just being a jerk to the others. Back to the episode, James tries to shun trucks as smooth as he can, only for Thomas to tell him that Edward finished a long time ago. He tries to do his job while not minding dirty work, only for Edward to finish getting clean before him and James being late to pick up his passengers. He tries to overtake Edward by using Gordon's express line, only to result in one of the coolest crashes of the hit era. Like goddamn, James should have at least gotten a black eye from that. After some more banter from Thomas and Topham scolding him, James decides to put things right and help a broken down Edward arrive at Bluff's Cove. He earns the respect of Topham, the children, and even Edward himself. And that's the episode. This is hands down a top 5 episode for this era of Thomas. None of the characters feel out of character, the story is unique and gives more to chew on with James. And again, the crash is just so cool. I've already gushed about James in this episode and why he's such a fan favorite. Now on to Edward. Everybody knows who Edward is. He's wise, sensible, and never gives up even when he's so close to killing himself, and a great mentor to those in need of one. So it totally makes sense to make him the one James tries to one-up. Their dynamic is always a joy to watch since they are almost exact opposites. The only James and Edward-centric episodes I prefer over this are Old Iron and All in Vain. But this episode is great too. 10 out of 10, no questions asked. God bless you, Paul Larson. You've done wonders to two of the best characters of the show. This has been quite the episode, huh? I've had a lot of fun doing this series, but I know all you guys just want more Roblox content from me. But no fear, once that Blue Train with Friends update comes out, you can bet your ass I'll be doing remakes there more often, as well as some stuff from really useful engines and, who knows, maybe even Tom Toys Land. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys next time.